everyone. Welcome to a brand new month of potentials and possibilities. I just wanted to take a moment to share with you a beautiful reminder that came through from the Masters yesterday about what we're actually doing with this reality shift and what consciousness is actually doing in our human experience of evolution at this time. Some of this touches a little bit on the content that we had in our most recent members webinar about new templates. So it's perfect timing for us to be hearing more about this. So perhaps some of you will recall this from the member seminar, perhaps some of you won't. But the Masters have been explaining that our template for design or our blueprint for this reality is like a plan or a sketch that's laid out on paper. And so that's one-dimensional when it's just a concept or an idea, two-dimensional when it's created as a blueprint or a template for your experience. Your consciousness, the source energy that you are, breathes life into that two-dimensional blueprint, and then it creates form. So when life essence or source energy and that blueprint combine, the transformation is form is created. You're here now in a physical body. There is now a set of blueprints and principles to be put into action. And these blueprints and principles are about experiences. So we might see this as certain pathways or certain things we're meant to do in life, purpose, dharma, that sort of thing. So now we've gone from 2D, a plan or an idea of possibility, into 3D, which is the embodiment of possibility. So human experience in 3D and 4D, which is the timescape that enables us to really flesh out and go through cycles of those same concepts and same pathways and possibilities over and over again. That's the robust form of being human. And so now, of course, as we evolve even more beyond that, what happens to that form? What happens to that third dimensional expression that you are? That template and that design has been embodied. Now what? So now it's no longer about perfecting that design, and it's no longer about completing that design. This is now about opening up that design now, so that rather than a closed system or a geometry of form that would be like an encapsulated geometry, like a sphere, for example, or your body, we're now opening geometry. And when you open geometry up, when you open form up, it starts to fractalize, because it does have a blueprint in there, but now it can permutate and move in so many different ways, in so many different directions and possibilities. So the shift in consciousness at this time, as the Masters have explained, is form now breaking open, the form of design and blueprint now breaking open into many more possibilities, many more permutations that can happen. So this is what's happening during our shift. And another way to look at it is that it's like a flower. The more that it opens up, the more different petals, the more different experiences can happen for you. One of the most important things to consider within this is, in order for a blueprint to come to its fullness in your form and then begin to break open and expand, with that expansion comes a sense of totality, but also a sense of various aspects of self. And so as you start to break open and move into this new fractalized state of existence, it's very likely that you're going to begin to have different glimpses of yourself. Many people from around the world have been in contact with me in the last few weeks saying, well, I had this experience of myself in a different time, or a different version of me, or suddenly something from my past seemed like it was happening in the moment, or suddenly I was in the future, or suddenly I felt myself as this other galactic aspect. There's all sorts of things that are going on there. And so what's happening is that the totality of your conscious now, as it begins to burst forth out of third, fourth dimensional containment, you're beginning to have an awareness of all of these other expressions of yourself within this blueprint, all the other versions of yourself that are existing simultaneously beyond the containment of time and space. And it's an opportunity to catch a glimpse of it, because the glimpse is happening as you're unfolding before you become completely comfortable with being in the totality of all and identifying as the all. So, fifth dimensionality is that beautiful, beautiful space between feeling separate and having a clear identity, and having no identity and being at one with all things. Fifth dimensionality is where you get to experience yourself as the bloom and the blossom of the flower, and be in awe of all of the different petals that you have. Now, when these different glimpses of self come up to you, what do you need to do with them? Well, you don't need to resolve them or exclude them in any way, and you don't need to hold on to them either. The most important thing you can do is catch a glimpse and say, how wonderful. I'm becoming aware of more of myself. I'm moving towards identifying as the one, as all of these different facets of my jewel start to illuminate. And of course, as all of these different petals of the flower and facets of your jewel start to become visible to you, it means that your consciousness is becoming more visible to others. It's far easier to see a jewel that is being shown than just one facet of the jewel that's still hiding within the mud or within the dirt or the coal. So take heart if you're feeling a little confused with your identity at this time. It is a wondrous sacred time, and it's that sweet spot where we're just starting to catch a glimpse of who we are in so many different expressions. So that's my message to you today. I hope that you are enjoying this experience. Remember, some of it's happening in dream state, some of it's happening in meditation, some of it's just happening simultaneously as you go around your day, spontaneously. But how wonderful. So nothing to do other than observe and perhaps consciously invite it to become part of your embodied consciousness here in this reality. Interesting times indeed. Thanks, and I look forward to seeing you in the upcoming members webinar and wisdom circles this month.